Many years ago, I was working as a young doctor in Wuse General Hospital, and one of our senior colleagues lost his dad, and it was time for the funeral. I happened to be one of those that was chosen to go along with the team to attend the funeral celebration somewhere in Edo State, some distance from Abuja. So we went in coastal buses, and it was a long, tortuous journey. The road wasn't so good. Eventually, we got there quite late in the evening, and people were very tired. You know how it can be when we're just coming in for a funeral service like that, and there is so much crowd. Providing accommodation became a challenge. And at some point, where we were seated, some people started dozing off on their seats, some were lying down on the floor and generally sleeping. A few of us who were still waiting for accommodation were not asleep, and we were just gisting. I had made some friend with a particular guy. In fact, now I remember he's a lawyer. And we kept chatting there. While chatting, we noticed that some people were snoring slightly, but somebody's snore was louder than that of others. It wasn't so bad, in my opinion, but it was louder than that of others. And this fellow I was talking to seemed so irritated by the fact that people were snoring. And he went on and on about how, it's a matter of discipline, that even if you snore, you should know that you are outside, you are in the midst of many people. How can you do so I was trying to make excuses for them that I guess they are too tired, and when people are asleep, they may not just most likely will not be aware of what is going on. But he went on and on and on about it. Eventually, night came, and we then also had to sleep. They brought some mattresses for us to lay down. And for whatever reason, I wasn't feeling sleepy, so I still sat up. A few minutes after that, I heard some sounds that seemed like maybe a trailer was trying to pass somewhere near where we were. It was really deep and loud and strong. I looked around and realized that no, there was no trailer coming around at this time. It was somebody else who was snoring, and this snore this time wasn't normal. It was actually as though someone was trying to drill through the earth. And I tried to find out who this person was. It wasn't difficult because the sound was so loud and so deep. And lo and behold, it was my friend, the man who was condemning the people who were snoring. It was terrible. It was extremely terrible. If I said that I could feel the bench on which I sat trembling, you may say I'm exaggerating, but that's how I felt. I learned some lesson from it. And one of the things I learned was that sometimes the people who make the loudest noise against some things, the loudest critics against some bad behavior or some issues in the society, sometimes are people who engage in those things secretly. Oh yes, you may remember the case of a man in the House of Reps who was known as Mr. Integrity. We believed every word he said. He was a man of integrity. And one time he came up and was fighting those who were doing corrupt practices in the subsidy of fuel regime, if you remember. And at a point, he was mentioning the names of companies who were into corrupt practices with respect to fuel subsidy, and he hit on a man called Femi Otedola. And Femi Otedola hit back by saying, no, my company is not involved in this issue. And it was a loud thing on TV then. Anyhow, a sting operation was arranged, and lo and behold, our Mr. Integrity was actually a corrupt man who was taking bribes from people in order to either remove their name from the list or add their name to the list in order to threaten you to pay more money. Cut long story short, he was eventually jailed. Mr. Integrity turned out to actually be Mr. Corruption. If you remember the story of a pastor called Jimmy Swaggart, his voice was extremely loud against one particular preacher, and some preachers then who had been caught in some malfeasance, especially with respect to adultery and issues like that. And he was known for being a very loud critic of those who were doing the wrong things, who were still on the pulpit and were engaging in such horrible practices. Unfortunately, not too long down the line, Jimmy Swaggart was caught that he was actually engaging very deeply in the same practices that he was condemning so loudly. People are strange in the way they reason sometimes. And I had to advise myself that, listen, the fact that a man says he hates something doesn't mean I should assume he does not engage in it. Let's separate these things. I watch many crime and investigation stories where the people who kill prostitutes, who say they hate prostitutes and hate women and all that, are usually people who patronize them and then afterwards kill them. So the fact that a man says he hates something, the fact that a man says he hates corruption or is fighting corruption, or he hates adultery or is fighting adultery, or he hates this or that, it is good, but we can't keep presuming that because they are fighting these things or speaking against these things, it means they are not engaging in them. Am I saying that people should not criticize things that are wrong going on in our society? No, by all means. When you see something wrong, speak up, speak against it, fight it. All I'm saying is, please, if you are condemning it, try hard to stay out of it. Because the day you will be discovered, don't turn around to say it is because of your ethnicity, your politics, or your religion that people are criticizing you. No. If you've been condemning it, when you are caught, you will be condemned. So, if you don't want to do it, and you don't like it, stay away from it. If you are condemning it, do not engage in it. If you know you snore, don't make so much noise against those people that snore.